Hi guys, Crafty Chef Diamond here. How are you doing? Welcome to my prep table. Boy, my prep table is getting full. What do I have today to share with you guys? I have a finish for my Hello Kitty. We, of course, for Diamond Paint with Friends, Diamond Painting with Jack is hosting the Hello Kitty or a feline cat. Oh my goodness, guys. I will make sure, I always forget to put the Facebook link down below. Go visit us on Facebook, Diamond Painting with Friends, and go see all these wonderful Hello Kitties, guys. And next month, okay, Jack is closing out Diamond Paint with Friends for the year. Thank you so much, Jack. You are so wonderful. And this was a great, I have to say, the last 6 Diamond Paint with Friends event has been amazing with the participation, and it's just great. Just great. Yeah. Okay, so December, we have no paint along. It is a free month. Do whatever you want to do. January 2025, we're going to kick it off with Kim Haynes. Ease Your Whips In 2025. Cat Hair and Chaos. She will be linked down below. Please go visit her channel. Show her some love. She just did a whip parade. Guys, she has a lot of whips. I didn't count them. She asked, well, how many do I have? I don't know. I was vacuuming and watching. I had one eye on the vacuum and one eye on her video. Please go visit Kim Haynes at Cat Hair and Chaos. She will be linked down below in the description box. She's going to have some good, some of them she said she wants to finish before the year end, and I'm sure she will, but she's going to have some coming in 2025. And then also she is sharing the month with Wendy and Diamonds and Stuff. Please go visit Diamonds and Stuff. Great channel. She does tutorials, unboxings, PR packages. She loves dragons. So 2024 was the year of the dragon, and now that is coming to a close, but she wants to close off the year of the dragon in 2025 with designer dragons. And she sent me the greatest canvas to start off 2025. With Kim, I have a couple of whips that I need to work on. So I will share that on my next video. And then for February is Heart Health Awareness, and that is going to be Shenanigans with the Bergs. Yvonne, she has a great channel as well. Please go visit all of their channels, subscribe, join in on the Diamond Painting with Friends. Each hostess of the month, sometimes they might add a little curveball and have a couple of rules, or they'll ask a certain size. It's their month. They can do whatever they will like with their paint along. The only thing that I ask is please do not change the hashtag. We are hashtag Diamond Painting with Friends 2024, and then it's going to switch over next year to hashtag Diamond Painting with Friends 2025. So if you want to have a lot of people, if you have a channel, a lot of people have a Facebook group, and so they run a channel, plus they run a Facebook group. If you want to change the hashtag, I'll use Wendy as an example, hashtag designer dragons, then she'll ask you to do that, and all of the portraits, all the pictures will go to her. But I would really like it if you would represent Diamond Painting with Friends, because you signed up for Diamond Painting with Friends. So it would be hashtag Diamond Painting with Friends 2024, and then the new year would be hashtag Diamond Painting with Friends 2025. All right. Okay. Don't confuse your participants. Okay. So let me share what I have done. I love this. My little, I was going to use this for work and put in some of my snacks, but I'm like, no, it's so cute. Diamonds Around You made this for me. Isn't it awesome? All right. Let me show you what I have, what I've completed, what I've done. Looky, Hello Kitty. Isn't she gorgeous. She's just gorgeous. Her colors are just beautiful. And she's like, "Ooh, look at me. I'm covering my mouth because I'm going to get ready to eat some strawberries. I got my little drink right here." Yeah, I love it. This, I believe, I'm going to show you this is what I did this year. And I did one last year. These came together in a set. And I was supposed to do both of them last year. It just didn't happen. So it was like, oh, great. This was already kitted up, ready to go. Yeah. So, isn't it adorable? Thank you, Jack. I had fun. This was fun. It was color blocking. It was fast. I had to slow myself down so I would have some extra diamond painting time, even though I had other projects to work on. All right. And this was last year, and this is the first time I played around with ABs, and I did all of the face, but these go together. It was a kit. So this was last year, and I said in my last video, I don't think Jack answered me, I thought it would be kind of cool for 2025, even though it's Hello Kitty's birthday in November, if we could kick off 3 paint-alongs in November. One would be with diamonds and stuff. Oh my gosh, where's my paperwork? Bella Luna, and also Diamond Art Joy, Donna, is co-hosting with Margie, one of our YouTube supporters that goes to each and every one of your videos. And they are both doing werewolves and wolves. Leekins or Likens, I can't pronounce it. And also, you know, in November, it would be 3 times a charm if Diamond Painting with Jack would like to do cats. And it all goes together. You can do a feline cat, right? So you got the moon, the werewolf, and a kitty cat to go with it. Or a happy Hello Kitty. All right. So I'm waiting for her response on that. And she has plenty of time. And because the schedule can always be changed. And I'm meeting up with Donna this week, and she's going to be bringing me updated calendars and all that good stuff. All right. Then I was working on this. I told you after I was finished with Hello Kitty. Let me get my babies put back here. My prep tables, they're all just watching everything I do, you guys. All right. So I got busy. Really busy, and let's see, I did all of this. Isn't it gorgeous? All right, and this is it's called The Lion Cub, and it's by Puffy Gator. So gorgeous, so gorgeous. All right, so I was working on that, and then okay, let me get rid of here. I have another one. This is a custom. I think I showed it to you guys. This is Bro. This is for a friend at church. Her dog had paralyzed his spine, and he was the ring bearer at her son's wedding. And so, ooh, I got it upside down. I want to show you my progress on it, because I've been we're a little here and a little there. Check it out, you guys. I see some feet. Yep. Yeah. A lot of confetti here in this is the carpet. So yeah, you see the, oops, sorry if I bumped you. There you go. Pretty cool, right? A lot of background. So I'm going to be excited when I get up into Bro's body and stuff. And then I will, after I finish this part right here, I think I'll work on that tonight if I have the opportunity. And then I will send Rose an update on her canvas on Bro. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I have been doing. So let me put my stuff back down here. And we're going to work on our food safe kitchen. Remember, it's for entertainment purposes only. It is early in the morning, and it's before I go to work. This is going to be a short week for me, very short week. I don't have to go to Restaurant Depot today. I'm going to get a massage at 4 o'clock. And for my running, it's going, okay? Not like I want it to be. Dopey is still on. I'm going to do my long run on Saturday. And I'm going to do Mount Vernon all the way into DC. I'm going to see how far I can go, and I'm going to have the man pick me up at the end because I'm not going to turn around and go all the way back. Because going up Mount Vernon Trail, it's a B, and I don't want to do that. I want to go down. I call it going down in from Mount Vernon into DC, and yeah, and my resting point will be at mile 10. I will go to a Starbucks and get 2 shots of espresso, refill my water, and I will stop the clock and do that because I'll have to stand in line. Last time I let the clock continue to run. Big mistake on my part because then I didn't have an actual time or a pace. The longer that you spend your time at a stop or a rest, it affects your minutes per mile. So anyways, okay, let me turn my light pad on. I can't remember how far we got. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only, guys. What I teach to you is what I do in my own personal kitchen. And we're going to try to whip it. Whip it good. Okay. If you are not interested in the Safe Kitchen, no problem. I will see you in my next video. And because some people are interested and some are not. I did have a few people were very interested in the Safe Kitchen, and that's really cool. And I can answer a couple of questions. Was it Shanta? She has a channel. She says that she has to be certified at her job, and following temperatures are very important. Yes, it is very important. And you can really, time and temperature abuse is a major thing. You get a little sick at home and you can't figure out why. It's probably because you didn't prepare your food the right way and you got a little bit of sickness from it. Okay, so we left off about foodborne illness. I'm not going to go word for word, but we have the challenges of food safety. And a foodborne illness is a disease transmitted to people by food, an illness that is considered an outbreak when 2 or more people have the same symptoms after eating the same food. I gotta figure out what color I need, guys. I'm sorry. I do not have myself prepared here. Equal. There we go. This is my little container. I got something on here. I don't know what it did. I think it's baby oil or something. I don't know. All right. So it's 2 or more people that are eating the same food. An investigation is conducted by state and local regulatory authorities. Each year, millions of people get sick from unsafe food. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And it all starts with, it really starts with shipping and receiving, how you receive it, how you put it away, and how you prepare it. I'm going to be working on this one here. Okay. So a food service operation works hard to minimize foodborne illnesses. As a result of these efforts, foodborne illnesses have declined in recent years, and they have escalated. Guys, they are going a lot of, it all started with boarheads, and then it alerted the health department. And then now there's a lot that goes on that you don't know about. I get emails from the USDA about foods that are slipping through the system, or they catch it and they make a report about it. I had a big one and I tossed it. So the next time I get an update on the USDA, I will share it with you guys, and then you'll know what's been recalled. Okay. However, operations still face many challenges to food safety. We have time. In your working environment, there's pressure to work quickly and can make it hard to take the time to follow food safety practices. Languages and cultures, that's a big one where I live. Your staff may speak a different language than you do, and this can make it difficult to communicate. Cultural differences can also influence how food handlers view food safety. Do they really understand? And they say, yes, they do, but they really don't. And then somebody gets sick. or gets hurt. Pathogens. Illnesses causing microorganisms are more frequently found on types of food that once were considered safe. You cannot leave the chicken out and then go to work and come home and think it's okay. I actually, a lot of times I will take food out of the freezer because I keep my freezer down to below zero. Okay, and I have a commercial freezer in my basement. And I'll pull it out, bring it upstairs, put it down on the on my cutting board, and then before I go to work, I put it in the refrigerator. I took out some chicken and I took out bacon, and I knew when I got to work, I went, oh man, guess what? I just took dinner and breakfast and left it on the counter, and I had to discard it when I got home because bacteria, once it thaws, bacteria, and you get it to a certain temperature, and we will go over temperatures. It grows bacteria and salmonella because your produce and your pork is not being, it's not like when you were younger, okay, where the farms were feeding their animals really good food. They overfeed their animals and they give them antibiotics to make them grow faster and more other things. And we're not going to get into that. Okay. Sorry, I'm drinking coffee too. All right. So we talked about pathogens. Okay. Unapproved suppliers. Huge, huge unapproved suppliers. Food that is received from suppliers that are not practicing food safety can cause a foodborne illness. Okay, we're going to go in more detail of that later on. High-risk customers. The number of customers at a high risk for getting a foodborne illness is increasing. As an example of this, the growing elderly population, because their immune system is slowly breaking down. Staff turnover, training new staff as shown as there's a little picture of staff. I don't think I have that picture. I got a good picture here. Training of staff. Yep. We have a lot of your fast food industries. You have a huge turnover because they don't like following rules. And it is, fast food has always been a huge turnover. So training new staff is shown right here. Leaves less time for food safety and training. The ServSafe program will provide you with the tools you need to overcome the challenges in managing a good food safety program or a good kitchen, safe kitchen. All the practices that I do are the same that I do at home. Okay. What can an outbreak do, you guys? Oh my goodness. What happens? I told you I was going to use boarheads because that was the biggest one. They had 9 deaths, 70 plus customers were hospitalized with listeria. Listeria comes from a bacteria that you cannot see, you cannot smell it. And it comes from a lot of different factors. It could be coming from the meat factory. It could come from the factory itself. It can come from unsafe sanitized equipment. We don't need to go into great details. That factory has been shut down. They did recall over 15,000 pounds of potted meat and liverwurst from that factory. They felt that factory was in such bad condition, it is permanently shut down. Whether potted meats, if they are going to make a new factory, or they're going to make accommodations at another factory, because Boarhead has different factories that do different parts of their meats and then of their mustards and condiments. I know this is hard to see. So basically, what does a foodborne illness do to your establishment? You have loss of customers right here. You were doing really well, and all of a sudden, boom, it goes down. You get negative press release. Yep, absolutely. There's your negative press release. Boarhead was in the news 24/7, as well as I was talking about it. And then of course, McDonald's. You get huge media. If you have a big name, they are going to get you. Lawsuits. 9 people are dead from Boarhead. Oh, of course they're going to have lawsuits. They've already started filing claims. Also with the people who are hospitalized. They want to get reimbursed for their time that they were in the hospital, and they want to punish Boarheads for making them sick. Okay, because it could have been prevented. It truly could have been prevented. Increased premium of your insurance. Oh my gosh, yes. Your insurance is going to go sky high. So because of that one penalty, it's kind of like your car. Get a car accident and you're a liability. So now you're a liability. Loss of reputation. Absolutely. I'm sure Boarheads will take a couple of years to recover from this incident. Low staff morale. The staff, of course, everybody in that factory at the time, because everything was halted. And the staff is like, oh man, what's going to happen? We're doing the cleanup, but what's going to happen? What's our future? Staff missing work. That can promote a foodborne illness because you're working at high speed and you're not following the food safety that you should, or cleaning the equipment the right way. And then, of course, the last is retraining your staff. It costs money to retrain your staff because you have to pull so many people away from the production to retrain them, and it costs the company money to do all that. Everything has a dollar figure, and it costs lives, you know. So the most important are human costs. Victims of foodborne illness may experience the following: loss of work, medical cost, long-term disability, and the last is death. And yeah, it's cray-cray. We have 3 contaminants that we're going to go over. I can find it here. This would be better if I had a do I have my contaminants here? Yeah, I do. All right. How foodborne illness occurs. All right. Unsafe food is usually the result of contamination, which is present of harmful substances in the food. To prevent foodborne illness, you must recognize the contaminants that make you unsafe. All right. So we have biological, which is the top one. That is from mushrooms, seafood, harmful toxins, poisons, viruses, parasites, fungi, bacteria. This is what grows on top of your food if it is in a danger zone. Okay. Chemical. And we have physical. So you have biological, chemical, and physical contaminants. Food service workers, they're spraying and they're using, they're not taking the food off the hot bar and they're spraying around it. That's a big no-no. Even though you use a sanitizer, if everything has to have 30 seconds to air dry. So if you accidentally get sanitizer in the food, it can hurt you. It can hurt you. Okay. Food service chemicals can contaminate food if they are used incorrectly. The photo you see the photo here, shows an example of how chemicals may contaminate food. Contaminants can include cleaners, sanitizers, and polishes. Physical. Foreign objects. Down on the lower part right here. Yes, he's picking up a Band-Aid out of the stuffing. Foreign objects such as metal shavings, staples, bandages can get into food such as glass, dirt, and even bag ties. This photo over here shows this type of a physical contaminant. Naturally occurring objects such as fish bones in fillets is another example. Yes, if you go to a high-class restaurant and you find fish bones, that is a physical contaminant. I have seen, that's why we wear a blue Band-Aid also, If it falls off and you're not wearing a glove, that means it's somewhere near your food, and then you have to throw it away. And that again is another food cost. Or somebody's going to get hurt, or somebody picks it up out of the soup. I know, warning, warning, and they will just throw the physical compartment away and put it back, the soup back on the service line. It happens. Been there. I haven't been there, but I know it happens. And I hope your immune system is enough to handle some of that stuff. Okay. All right. Each of these contaminants is a danger to food safety, but biological contaminants are responsible for most foodborne illness. And I told you those were your parasites. That's where your Listeria comes from, your E. coli, your Salmonella, and we will go over that in a future chapter. This is a really thick book. Plus, I have over 400 questions, trivia questions, and it's going to be fun. It's really going to be fun. I'm just a little wacky right now because I'm trying to get used to doing this. Normally, I would be standing in front of you guys or talking with somebody one-on-one. All right. How food becomes unsafe. If food handlers do not handle food correctly, it can become unsafe. These are the 5 most common handling mistakes or risk factors that can cause a foodborne illness. 1, purchasing food from unsafe sources. 2, failing to cook food properly. 3, holding food at incorrect temperatures. 4, using contaminated equipment. And 5, practicing poor personal hygiene. Those are your 5 most risks for a foodborne illness. It is on the test. There is a huge test that we have to take. The one that I took, I think it was 150 questions. You have 2 hours to take this food service test, but they have different tests. And depending on what your job is, if you're just going to work with another person that's been certified, you sometimes don't even need to test as long as you're with somebody who's certified, or some businesses require you to have a minimal test. You have some knowledge of what a foodborne illness is. You don't have to go into the whole complete blown course like I have to in order for me to run a full kitchen. All right, purchasing food from unsafe sources can be a big problem. So purchasing food from unapproved, reputable suppliers is critical. Did I read that right? Purchasing food from approved, reputable suppliers is critical. This will be discussed in greater detail later. Keep in mind that food prepared in a private home is also considered to be unsafe. If you are an unsafe person, that can go both ways, because we have a cottage license here where you can prepare food at home. And I do prepare food for sometimes I prep stuff here at my house and I take it into the job, but I am licensed and ready to go. So if I were to get turned in, I have my documentation and everything for that. It's not good to do like seafood and stuff like that and then tote it into work. I don't do anything like that. We don't do lobsters and steak and weird food. We just do kiddie fun stuff. Okay. The other food handling mistakes listed are related to foreign main practices. These include time, temperature abuse, cross-contamination, poor personal hygiene, and poor cleaning and sanitizing of the equipment. Those are your major ones, okay? Something to think about. More than 30 children experienced dizziness, nausea, and vomiting after eating spaghetti at an elementary school cafeteria. According to the regulatory authority, the spaghetti was not heated correctly on the day it was served. It also was not cooled properly when it was prepared the day before. The cafeteria had to be closed so staff could be retrained and on safe food handling practices. That must be a really big kitchen. I serve 60 folks a day. That's with staff included, a total of 60, because we have some children that brown bag it. And I make everything fresh the day of. So it looks like they made the spaghetti sauce the day before. They didn't cool it properly. If you have to do rapid cooling right away, and it's going to be further in the chapter, so I might be repeating myself, but I will give you an example of what is rapid cooling. Is you're going to take large, if you have, say, it's a school, so you're going to 300 kids, okay? Well, they said 30. I do 60. That's okay. So you made huge pots. You take, say you use 4 number 10 cans. A number 10 can is, you know, those really big cans. And so then you made the sauce, but you didn't cool it properly because it was time for you to go home. So you took those containers at 165, maybe 190 degrees, and you threw them in the walk-in, and you didn't date them or anything or put a time on there. And what happens is that they're so hot, you capped them, and then you have condensation, and that condensation, the steam builds up, and then it builds up bacteria, and it drips down into the sauce, and then you go to reheat it the next day, and you've already, from the cool down process, contaminated the food. So a rapid cool down is you can do an ice bath, and you put it in smaller containers, and you bring the temperature down to 135. And then you store it in your walk-in or whatever type of storage facility that you have at your unit, date it, put your initials on it. And the reason why we put initials on there is because if something is not prepped the proper way or cooled the proper way, we know who did it. That's if you're working in a big organization. There's just me. And I work now, if I volunteer asks me to do something, then at that point, I'll have her put her initials on there just in case. Sometimes, you know, the health department can come in anytime and do a visit. Okay. Real quick, I think it's getting late. It's time for me to go to work. I wanted to get this done earlier, but I just didn't have time this weekend. Even though I had a 3-day weekend, I had a lot of things I needed to get done. All right. Practices related to foodborne illness. Time, temperature, abuse. Food has stuffed time, temperature, abuse. Food has suffered time, temperature, abuse when it has stayed out too long at temperatures that are good for the growth of pathogens. A foodborne illness can result if food is time, temperature, abuse. This can happen in many ways. Food is not held or stored at the correct temperature. Food is not cooked or reheated enough to kill the pathogens. Food is not cooled properly. And we will go over that in other chapters. Hopefully we can get into some of the time, temperature, abuse, what the danger zone is, what the proper temperatures are. You guys are getting ready for your big meal for Thanksgiving, and you're going to have guests come over. You want to keep your family safe this holiday season. Nobody wants to be sick. Cross-contamination. Pathogens can transfer from one surface of food to another. This is called cross-contamination. It can cause a foodborne illness in many ways. Contaminated ingredients are also added to food that receives no further cooking. Ready-to-eat foods touch contaminated surfaces. So you see there's blood that is hitting the lettuce. That is called cross-contamination. A food handler touches contaminated food and then touches ready-to-eat food. Contaminated wiping cloths touch the food surfaces, and you didn't sanitize the cloth, and they just wiped it. So it's still a cross-contamination. Poor personal hygiene. Food handlers can cause a foodborne illness if they don't follow these actions. Fail to wash their hands correctly after using the restroom. Cough or sneeze on food. Touch or scratch wounds and then touch the food, as shown in this photo. And then if you come to work sick. And the last one is poor cleaning and sanitizing. Pathogens can be spread to food if equipment has not been cleaned and sanitized correctly between uses. This can happen in the following ways. Equipment and utensils are not washed, rinsed, and sanitized between uses. Contact surfaces are wiped clean rather than being washed, rinsed, and sanitized. Wiping cloths are not stored in a sanitized solution between uses. Sanitizing solutions are not at the required levels to sanitize objects. I do follow a quart system. A lot of us follow a quart system, and we have little strips that we use to measure the sanitizer to make sure that it's at a proper level, to make sure that your equipment is sanitized all the time. If I need to do wash any pots or pans, you wash, then you have to rinse it, and then it goes into a sanitizer solution, and it has to stay in the sanitizer solution for 30 seconds, and then you can pull it out, air dry. That's the same with contact surfaces. Take your sanitizer, and first you wash your prep tables, and then you rinse them, let it air dry, and then you go get your sanitizer and wipe it down, air dry, and you're ready for business. Okay. Food most likely to become unsafe. TCS. You're going to hear a lot about TCS. That is temperature controlled safety foods. Those are foods that need to be monitored all the time. And then you're going to hear about ready to eat food. Ready to eat food is, I receive it into my kitchen. It doesn't need further prep. It could be sugar. It can be storing rice. It could be all my spices. It doesn't need to have any further work. Now, if I'm storing, flour and rice, add a storage part it is a ready to eat food at that time, but then I have to do further prep, and then it turns into a TCS food. TCS and ready to eat foods are the most likely types of food to become unsafe. TCS foods. Pathogens grow well in TCS foods. These items need to be temperature controlled to limit pathogen growth. For this reason, this food is called TCS food. Food requiring temperature controlled for safety. And those are the ones where I wear a thermometer all day, and I am hunting down all of the foods. These are all your TCS foods. They must be temperature controlled. Milk and dairy products, meat, beef, pork, and lamb, fish, baked potatoes, they grow spores, tofu or other soy proteins, synthetic ingredients such as textured soy protein in meat alternatives, sliced melons, cut tomatoes, cut leafy greens, shell eggs, except those treated to eliminate non-typhoidal salmonella, poultry, shellfish, crustaceans, treated plant foods such as cooked rice, beans, vegetables, sprouts, and sprout seeds. Big one, the sprouts. Big one, carries alfalfa sprouts and regular sprouts carry a lot of bacteria. Be aware. And untreated garlic and oil mixtures. They must be treated at a certain temperature and then brought down and then put in their safety containers. Those are your TCS foods. That's what all of them have to. If you abuse the temperature, then you're going to have issues. Total issues. Ready to eat foods like TCS foods. Ready to eat foods also need careful handling to prevent contamination. Ready to eat foods is exactly what it sounds like. Food that can be eaten without further preparation, washing, or cooking. Ready to eat foods includes cooked foods, washed fruits and vegetables, whole and cut, and deli meats. Bakery items such as sugar, spices, and seasonings are also included. Population at risk for foodborne illness. Elderly people. Elderly people immune systems are weakened with age, and the immune system is the body's defense against illness. Preschool age children, that's my area. Very young children have not built up a strong enough immune system. People with compromised immune system, certain medical conditions and medications can weaken the person's immune system. This includes cancer or chemotherapy, HIV and AIDS patients, and transplants. All of those people are at risk for a foodborne illness. All right, you guys, it is time for me to close this off for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll listen back and find out whether I should dump it or keep it. I still have to work a little bit on my whip and chit chat. But I think each time we'll get a little bit better. We are almost finished with this chapter, and we will go over a chapter summary, and we will do a case study. We'll do a case study and then do a chapter review. I got some questions, and then we'll go into chapter 2 with different forms of contamination. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. Happy crafting. And I will see you guys in my next video. What am I serving today? It's going to be a good week because I don't have to go to Restaurant Depot today. Woohoo! So happy about that. Today is pizza. What is cookies? I have to do cookies, pizza, cookie, fruit, and veggies, veggie blend. Yep. All right, you guys, have a fantastic day, and Crafty Chef will see you in the next video. All right, guys, I'm out. Bye.